I don't care when it is. I don't care what the situation is. If there's 3 outs to get for a win or to extend the game, I want Emmanuel Clase on the mound over anybody else.
But the American League Manager of the Year award goes to
my friend Stephen Vogt. Good job, Stephen.
Congratulations.
Yay!
Yeah, it took you so many. Oh, wait, it's his first year on the gig, and he already got it. That is impressive. Great to have you on, dude. Seriously, though, congrats. How's the week been? Enjoying what you just went through, which you should.
Yeah, no, thank you guys. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate you announcing it for me. And no, it was a really cool honor. Obviously, as it was alluded to, it is very much an organizational award. And I know that, being in this position is something I'm super proud of and having a blast doing, but really cool recognition for what the work that our players and our staff did.
Voter, that when we played and dudes were having years like Yelly and he was an MVP, you're like, man, I wonder when he's going to get called up to the next league. When are you going to get called up to the next league to coach and be a head coach of a team up there?
Hopefully never. I really love where I'm at, and obviously still have work to do. Still have work to do, man. There's a lot of people on our team that should get called up. I think Jose Ramirez, Emmanuel Clase, and Cade Smith, they could definitely play in 5A. They'd survive up there.
Okay, good call. Good call. Way to coach them, though. You really coached your face off, especially since you guys made it all the way to the American League Championship Series. That was neat for you. Was that better managing or playing going through the playoffs?
It's a lot. There's a lot more pressure when you're playing. As a manager, you don't feel that pressure because at the end of the day, you're making decisions to put your guys into good positions. And so there's nothing that I can really go out and do. So it's just putting full trust into the players. And, man, they had a great year. And we came up short from where we wanted to be, but it was so much fun watching those guys play all year long.
And that's funny that you say that because a lot of people will say, man, coaching is a whole different ball game. And I'm nervous doing this and that. You got to make the right calls, the arguments you got to make. You got to figure out what you're doing with the bullpen. So, again, I'm going to ask you, who had no nerves while you were coaching, or were there something going on in there?
There's a ton. It's like a duck sitting on the top of the pond, The legs are going like crazy on the inside. But, honestly, there's different pressures that you feel. And I felt like going into the playoffs, the prep work that we put in ahead of time, we didn't get caught off guard very often. We were prepared for everything. And, you make some decisions and they work and they're like, oh, look how smart he is. You make one decision, it doesn't work, and it's look how dumb he is. So you just have to trust the people around you and trust your process. And that's what we did all year long.
And you kind of alluded to this a little bit, talking about bringing some guys up or whatever it was, but to 5A now, I want to ask you a couple questions. What you guys think you need to improve on in the offseason so you guys can get over that hump? Is there some guys in the minor leagues, or do you see your team making a couple moves this offseason?
I think obviously, Chris Antonetti, Mike Chernoff, and Matt Foreman, they're some of the smartest people to do what they do, and they're always looking to make our team the best possible. So I'm sure we're talking and trying to make some moves, but at the end of the day, we love our roster, and we got almost everybody coming back. We were able to sign Hedgie back, which was huge, because those backup catchers, Kratzy, can't just find them anywhere. They're special breed. So, get that going. And then, for us, I think what it really is our starting pitching. I think, you look at our year and we had a number of guys just, for whatever reason, not have the year they were capable of. So for us, we're working really hard with our guys to have great winners to come into spring, and we're hoping everybody takes a step forward and we just build upon what we accomplished last year.
Don't talk about backup catchers like you know what that is. You're a starter. You're an all-star. You're going out on your own.
For 2 years, and then I'll go backup. Come on.
No. Look, they don't give all-star appearances out to backups, okay? But
okay.
I have to say, you're an all-star person, whether you were a starter or you were a backup. Did you do as good this year in your first year managing as you thought you would? Because back in 2018, I'm going to give FT fans a little insight. Voter was hurt, like career-ending shoulder, and he didn't even have that great an arm before his shoulder surgery. And then when he hurt his arm, it was even worse. But it looked like you were going to be done. And you were going around, you had your notebook. You had your notebook that you're writing all your stuff down in. Then you go through your notebook as you almost got the job with the Giants, and then Bo Mel just absolutely undercut you. And then you get to go to the Guardians. And you're the manager of the Guardians, something that you've essentially been working for your entire career, but also like towards the end of your career. Did you do as good this year at what you wanted to accomplish as you thought you would?
That's a really good question. I'd say I came close. You never want to feel satisfied with the job you did. You never want to feel like I've got it figured out. I'm always trying to learn. And I think for me, the prep work that I put into this really was since 2009. And I really wanted to do this for a long time. I leaned on a lot of people in my life. I asked way more questions to every manager and coach I ever had than they probably wanted. I asked teammates questions. I asked front office. I just was curious to learn. And, that continued this year. The Cleveland organization, and our coaching staff, I leaned on them a ton because I didn't know everything I was experiencing was for the first time. And so they helped me get through a lot of the tough things. And, really at the end of the day, the game was the fun part. The other stuff day to day, you're learning all the time about different things and learning your people. And so I would say I did close to as good as I wanted to do, but we didn't win that last game of the year. And that's really what the goal is.
Okay, that's the goal. So we're going to go to that. We watched, obviously we're close to Philly here in Jersey. We watched, Jeff Hoffman give runs up. We watched Matt Strom give runs up. We watched Devin Williams give up a home run that ended up costing his team a chance to advance. You went to Emmanuel Clase, a guy who gave up, I think, 5 runs on the season, and he gave runs up. Now when you get back, because that's your goal, you want to get back to the playoffs to make the World Series and eventually win, how do you keep that out of your mind? How do you keep that, okay, this guy was the most dominant reliever in the game this year, but I know what he did. I know what happened when old boy from Detroit that pulled his hamstring in the end hit that dinger, and then and then Judge hit those home runs against him. How do you keep that out of your mind, and how do you build Clase A up for next year?
I keep going back to one, baseball's hard. Everybody you're watching on TV drives a nice car. They're all really good at what they do. And for me, it's I don't care when it is. I don't care what the situation is. If there's 3 outs to get for a win or to extend the game, I want Emmanuel Clase on the mound over anybody else. This guy's one of the best pitchers on the planet. He had his regular season was a dream. There was not one, maybe 2 times where it was high pressure. It was 9, 10, 11 pitch saves every night, it seemed like. And so you're going to give him the ball again. And I can't wait to give him the ball again next year if we're fortunate enough to get there. And it's one of those things where baseball's hard. Things happen. When you look back at his playoffs, the reality is he made a really good pitch to Judge, and Judge does what Judge does. And he hung 3 sliders. That's literally what happened. And that can happen to anybody. And when it's in a microscope like that, it's going to stand out. But Emmanuel Clase is going to get the ball in the 9th with the game on the line as long as we're together in Cleveland.
We're going to be real because we're friends. Well, we were friends until you became a manager, and then you stopped texting me as quickly as I would like.
That's not true. That's not true.
You texted me, but as quickly as I would like. You take too long to get back to me, but I'm not going to air out my grievances here on TV, okay?
Bull.
You just did.
I just did. You're right. But you guys obviously didn't know that the guys you had in the bullpen were going to be as good as they were. To me, I believe that you put those guys in those situations, you guys as an organization, as a team, whatever, to have the season that you did. But you rode those things like a $2 horse, okay? You can't be going into next season saying, you know what we need? We need 3 of the top 5 appearance relievers out of the bullpen this year too. So what's the team's plan to not ride those guys quite so hard and to be able to still give them the opportunity to have the season that they had?
Yeah, you got to give all the credit to those guys. They had themselves prepared. Carl Willis, Joe Torres, Brad Goldberg, our pitching team did a phenomenal job of, getting them to be as efficient as possible. Our catchers did phenomenal. Bo, David Fry, and Hedgie just understood who they were. So, all the credit goes there. And, we were also careful with how we used them. They were throwing a lot, but we limited their pitch counts when we could. as hard as it was, I'd sit on my hands from time to time when they weren't available as much as I wanted to throw them. But, we were pretty diligent to that. So, for me, what it is, again, is for us, it's our starters. Our starters are going to get better. They're going to work, and going deeper into games is going to save those innings. And, I think this year was a one-off as far as that goes. And I know that we have a great plan in place to help our guys, be the best versions of themselves.
FT fam, the holidays are creeping up faster than your aunt's fruitcake recipe. And we've got something way better to share with you. If you want to look sharp for all those festive gatherings, check out the latest masterpiece from Manscaped, the Chairman Pro Electric Foil Shaver. It's like Rudolph for your face, guiding you to a smooth, irritation-free shave.
Head over to manscaped.com and join the over 11 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by using code FOUL20 for 20% off plus free shipping.
I wrote up a wish list of what I'm looking for in a modern shaver, and Manscaped nailed it. 2 interchangeable skin-safe blade heads for either the super smooth feel or the clean, manly stubble look. A precision lock for a more precise shave when you want it. Waterproof? Check. 75 minutes of runtime on a single charge? Yup. A travel lock so it doesn't turn on by accident, and an LED spotlight to help you see every detail.
Get the Chairman Pro today and experience a shave that is as smooth as you deserve. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code FOUL20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code FOUL20 at manscaped.com.
Voter question from a fan. Donnie asks for us to ask you about Fry and the time frame for him and what you see for 2025. Is he only going to be able to hit for the entire season and not play the field?
Yeah, right now that's kind of what the outlook looks like is I think it was 6 to 8 months he'll be able to hit, which probably puts us in May-ish. And then he probably will not be able to throw it all next year. So, we have to see it with any surgery. You have to kind of see how it goes and how his rehab's going. We're going to do what's best for David and his career first. And that I never shy away from that. The player and their career and their health will come over any win. I don't care what the situation is. But, for David, for him to do what he did this year, not being able to throw, playing first base every now and then and DH only, you go from catching 2-3 times a week to just being able to DH, you're going to go crazy. But for him, we just feel for him and his family, just that he's going to miss a majority of next year, but we're hoping to get his bat back in the lineup as soon as possible.
I want to ask about another player of yours, a fan question from Jen Abbas. It talks about, since the holidays are coming up here, how big is Big Christmas? Okay.
This is one of the biggest human beings I've ever been around. I mean, he's such a gentle giant. That's why I love him. And, he brings a smile every day. He brings energy. He's running around the outfield and diving all over the place. And, it's so impressive to see him move that body the way he does. He can run, he can throw. He was a lot of fun. He brought a lot of energy to our team when he was fortunate enough to earn the call up, and obviously had the big swing in the playoffs and gave Cleveland fans a moment that I don't think any of us will ever forget. One of the best baseball games I've ever watched was Game 3 versus the Yankees, and he had one of the big blows in that game.
All right. Who's the MVP of this team, not named Jose Ramirez, in the lineup?
Oof.
You got to pick one of your favorite. I know which one of your kids is your favorite. You don't have to say that on here, but it's one of your kids on the team. Which one's your favorite?
Well, I'm not going to say he's my favorite, but if I have to pick an MVP not named Jose Ramirez, I'd probably go Stephen Kwan. Just with what he brought at the top of the order, the consistency and getting on base and being that spark plug. You're making me only pick one, which is really hard, but I'm going to stick to it because I'm a rule follower. No, Kwani showed some old school hitting where he could take whatever the pitcher gave him, and if he made a mistake, it was leaving the yard. And the season that he had was super impressive.
All right, so this is more of a personal question. Oh, now that you're a manager, what type of manager exercise do you do? Are you the sweat it out on the elliptical? Do you get on the bike? Are you a walk around the park, get on the AirPods, or are you getting a little bench in? Are you getting, because I saw you in the uni and it looks like you have a girdle on, but I'm okay with that.
Wait, what?
What do you mean girdle? That's maybe me just sucking it in.
Yeah,
You know,
you're tucking it in
No,
tight.
he's a double. He probably has like 2 or 3 layers.
no,
It's
no,
cold
no.
in
He's-
well,
Cleveland.
here's what it is. Okay, I'm an Orange Theory fitness guy.
Oh.
Right. So I go for an hour, get some cardio, some weights, and I'm not allowed to have my phone, which means I'm off limits for an hour, which is huge. So I did that really well. And then believe it or not, towards the end of the season, the playoffs, I put on a little freshman 10 to 15 with some stress eating, you know what I mean? So we're working hard to get that off right now. But yeah, Orange Theory Fitness. That's the cardio of choice.
The playoff pouch, the famous playoff pouch.
How many missed calls and texts you have after that hour workout? I'm sure you're like, back to the drawing board. Here we go. There's gotta be a lot.
Depends on the day. Depends on the day. There's
Depends on who it is, too. Antonetti's like 3 texts in a row. You haven't sent this guy down yet? What is your deal? Why have you not fired that guy? I don't care if we don't have enough time, voter. I got one more. How much did that suck? We've been fired, sent down, DFA'd so many different times, thought it was the end of your career. How much did that first one suck that you looked at the guy and you were like, gosh, darn it, I feel for this guy?
Yeah, I don't think that's ever going to get easy. Having gone through it, DFA'd 4 times, traded a number of times, just I've been through it. I know what it feels like, and just being brutally honest with somebody and telling them that, I don't know what's next for you. There were a number of times where the player would leave the room and I'd go have a nice little cry in the bathroom. And you never, ever want to lose the empathy and feeling that with the player, because it matters to me. It matters that this person's career is up in the air right now. And we know, Kratzy, being on the other end of it, like, you're going to be fine. You're going to find another place. You're going to get another opportunity to earn a chance. But when you're going through in the moment, you feel for that player and you feel with them because they are part of your family, and it'll never get easy.
Yeah, that's a really good inside answer there, voter. Thanks for the time. Thanks for putting up really with Eric Kratz for 15 minutes. Really respect that a lot. You kind of took him away from me for 15 minutes, which is nice, like babysitting. But anyway, congratulations again, man, on the award, and we'll catch you again down the road. Okay, appreciate it.
Right. Sounds great. Good to catch up with you guys.
Happy Thanksgiving, you big turkey.
Oh.
Hey, everybody. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content.
We're back here every weekday, all year long, so do not miss an episode.
The videos are coming in all day. Here's another video you might enjoy.
Baseball the way it should be covered.